Okay, friends, this is PBS News. It says Biden host Pride Month celebration at White House. Voices LGBT plus support. Okay, according to Washington AP, President Joe Biden welcomed hundreds to the White House on Saturday for a delayed Pride Month celebration aimed at showing LGBTQ plus people that this administration has their back at a time when advocates are warning of a spike in discriminatory legislation, particularly aimed at the transgender community sweeping through state houses. Why is Joe Biden doing this? Is this a pushback against all that supposedly is going on in the world? Is this a promotion? Look at this news. This was this is what the news says. We're gonna listen here. I'll share my thought and perspective at the end.
June is Pride Month in the United States when LGBTQI plus people celebrate their communities and press for full equality.
My presence here is a testament that we are fighting back. Because our lives are glorious, beautiful, and worthy. We deserve respect and love. And until we have that, we will fight.
The White House celebrated Pride on Wednesday. Through executive action, officials say they are taking additional steps to advance equality and addressing discrimination, including preventing so-called conversion therapy that seeks to change the sexual or gender identities of LGBTQI plus youth.
This is the first time the federal government is leading a coordinated response against this dangerous, discredited practice.
President Joe Biden condemned a recent slew of bills affecting LGBTQI plus rights pushed by Republican state legislators nationwide. In Florida, legislation to go into effect July 1st would prohibit classroom discussion of sexual orientation and gender identity for children in kindergarten through third grade. And Texas Governor Greg Abbott recently directed Family Services to investigate as child abuse parents who provide gender-affirming care for their children.
I think the administration sees this, and they're going to do all they can, hopefully, to try to prevent, mitigate, and roll back this attack on LGBT citizens.
The LGBTQI plus community also faces growing threats from far-right extremist groups. On Saturday, 31 members of a white supremacist group called the Patriot Front were arrested in Idaho for allegedly planning a riot to disrupt a pride event. Amid these threats, the administration has been keen to underscore a message of inclusivity. Karine Jean-Pierre, the first Black woman and openly gay person, was appointed as White House Press Secretary in May.
We work around the globe to protect LGBTQI plus persons from violence and abuse, criminalization, discrimination, and stigma, and empower local LGBTQI plus movements and persons. We do this through bilateral and multilateral channels.
She did not say whether Biden would deliver that message when he meets King Salman in Saudi Arabia next month. The kingdom's officials recently seized rainbow-colored toys and clothing from shops in the capital, Riyadh, as...
Okay, there's a lot that could be said here. I'm still of the conviction to ask this one single question. Why does the White House, the Biden administration, feel the need to push another person, another group's sexuality above everyone else's? There was a time Joe Biden used to feel this way.
Yesterday and tomorrow in the Rose Garden to talk about a constitutional amendment to ban gay marriage.
You know, think about this. The world's going to Hades in a handbasket. We are desperately concerned about the circumstance relating to avian flu. We don't have enough vaccines. We don't have enough police officers. And we're going to debate the next 3 weeks, I'm told, gay marriage, a flag amendment, and God only knows what else. I can't believe the American people can't see through this. We already have a law. the Defense of Marriage Act, where we've all voted, not where I voted and others said, look, marriage is between a man and a woman, and states must respect that. Nobody's violated that law. There's been no challenge to that law. Why do we need a constitutional amendment? Marriage is between a man and a woman. What's the game going on here?
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing how the world changes so fast, right? I mean, if I were to show Joe Biden this video, do you still believe that? Things change. I'm just saying, it's good to see how the politics goes on to do the things that they do, and how they say one thing, and then the next moment they say something completely different, depending on where the power grab actually is and how they can benefit from it. So whether or not the administration is for LGBTQIA+, it doesn't necessarily matter to me. My perspective is, why do they feel the need to promote this? Now, I will say the same thing if they were promoting even Black History Month, if they were promoting even Christian values, if they were promoting anything else, even though I know they will not, I know that they are not, they will not touch anything that is Christian. However, why do they feel the need to touch that which is a community where particularly the goal is about their sexuality? Why do they feel the need to do that? Now, here is one video that is really circulating the web right now that I'm very disturbed by. Now, in this video, what you see, there's a message here. There is the American flag, there is the LGBTQIA+ flag, and there's the American flag again. I thought we are supposed to be united. This is dividing the people, though, because a lot of people in America do not agree with this. This flag represents the United States of America. This flag here does not represent us. Do you understand? No other flags should be standing next to this flag. That is actually a very bad message. By putting a flag in between those two flags, you are separating. Now, it looks like you're bringing the country together, but you cannot bring the country together when there is such a divisive approach and ideology when it comes to this, because this is dividing our country right now. And the administration of Democrats, Biden administration, they know this, and they push it anyway. Now, let me show you a video, just in case you think I'm being facetious here or I'm being a religious bigot. Some of you would like to refer to me as. Sometime in the comments, I read your comments. But here is the thing. You know, even some gays and lesbians are speaking out against this. They realize how bad of a thing this movement has become. And the fact that politicians are signing on to the deal, business are signing on to the deal. There are all these different movements. And even YouTube now is censoring people's video when you talk about this. This is considered hate speech or harassment. To tell people to share an opinion about how you feel with this LGBTQ movement, even making its way in our schools, among our children, in the government, in our businesses, even creeping in the churches to speak against that, you are called a bigot, a homophobe, a transphobe, a hater. But that's not really the case. Now, this video I'm about to show you, and I can show you many videos. I can show you so many, but I don't want to make you sick. When you hear LGBTQIA+ today, while I'm not blaming every person in the community because they all have different ways of thinking, but when you think of a Pride Month, right? Pride Month, okay, people are proud. Okay, the fact you're proud, that's already an issue, but we can leave that alone. Pride Month, LGBTQIA+, what does that look like? Would you like to see what that looks like on average? Well, let me show you. This is one of these. I got several of those, by the way, guys. I got several. I'm just gonna share one with you, and I can let you decide how you want to react, whether you want to lose your mind, or whether you want to just do backflips. I don't care. But listen, let's keep it small for now. Look at this. Let's turn the volume down. Let's watch together. We have children in the midst as well. Yeah. Let me ask you a question. Does this look like a group of people who are marginalized, who are being persecuted in the United States? Now, you can say there are parts of the world today, there are different parts of the world where these things are happening to LGBTQIA us plus people, and I can understand your argument. But here in these United States, they're pushing and pushing and pushing for equality and change. They're pushing and pushing even to have the children. They're pushing and pushing for change gender affirming surgeries, whatever. They're pushing and pushing and pushing, and they're saying they are marginalized. How are you marginalized when you have an entire month to celebrate? Business bow their knees. Even the government have you at the White House. Are you serious? How could you be marginalized? Does this look like a marginalized group of people? Ain't nobody pulling no guns. There's no sword. There's no killing going on here. There's no persecution. These people are doing what they do. There are children in the midst, and the government put their stamps of approval on it. Look at this. Does does this look like a group of people who are marginalized? Does it look like they are? Did you see the word on the shirt? Okay. This is my CUM back shirt. Yeah. Does this look like a marginalized group of people? I mean, you can determine. Does this look like people who are being killed in the United States?
What's your name? Flabbergasted. Amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. And when you see when people in Uganda and Kenya and different African nations and many others as well, and Muslim nations, they are saying, "Get away from us with this." And we cry, "Oh my Lord, I can't believe they're doing this to LGBTQIA plus people in these countries." Well, I'll tell you what. This is what they see, though. They're looking at us right here. They're looking at how far this has gone. You wonder why they're buckling up? You wondering why they're shutting their doors? You wondering why they're saying, we're not having any of this. Yeah,
What's your name? Flabbergasted. Amazing.
yeah, yeah. So this is what it means to be LGBTQIA plus in the United States today. This is what it means. So this is what's standing next to our flags right now. This is what Biden is celebrating. Now they can go on and say, "Oh, there are all these laws that are," but when you listen to the laws, even in what's happening in, I'm done. I'm done. I'm not gonna keep venting here, but when you listen to the laws and even what's happening in Florida, it's like the goal is to just like push back against what's happening to children, against children being exposed to sexual contents. That is the goal. But they make it look like this is anti LGBT laws. They hate us and everything, discriminatory laws. But that's not really the case. When you actually do a little bit of reading, you realize for the most part, Americans are very tolerant, they're very accepting. It's just that when you cross the line to go in the realm of children and people just had enough, when the American values are completely being dethroned and sugar coated, we are being told to be straight is wrong, that marriage between a man and a woman is wrong. Protecting our children is bad, and having our faith in Christian values, these things are bad to protect. This is when people like myself speak up and say enough is enough. Because this is not okay. It's one thing you want it to be accepted and loved and appreciated and not be persecuted for having the rights that you have just to be human, to do the things that you do in your bedroom. That's none of my business. I could care less what you do. But what they're fighting for today is for special privilege. They're not special. They're not fighting for rights as a regular citizen in this country. The American flags is for everybody, and the LGBT community is part of the American community, the American values. However, when their flags stand next to the American flags, it makes you wonder: are you replacing the American flag with LGBT engaged transgender stuff? Are they becoming so special that the patriots today are in the wrong? Americans are in the wrong. Straight people are in the wrong. The faith community has to be careful. Now we got to be careful what we say on YouTube because they supposedly are so marginalized. Really, that makes no sense, friends. Again and again, I can go on and on and on. All that I know is simply this. All that I know is simply this. We are living in what the Bible refers to as the days of Lot. We are living in what the Bible refers to as the days of Lot. And just in case you don't know, the days of Lot represents the time when I'm gonna get this for you right now. When people were being told you can't judge. It's good to study the days of Lot in itself, but what you're seeing happening in this country, we are told, likewise, also as it was in the days of Lot, they did eat, they drank, they bought, they sold, they planted, they builded. But the same day Lot went out of Sodom and it rained fire and brimstone from heaven and destroyed them all. The reason this is significant is because the days of Lot, one of the things that the people were doing in the days of Lot, although I hear a lot of scholars today, modern day YouTube scholars, trying to argue what happens in the days of Lot wasn't in anything to do with judgment. I'm like, I don't know, man. It's like, to me, I don't know how these people read their Bible. Maybe they read it upside down. But they were saying it wasn't judgment in the sense that against LGBTQIA plus persons. And I say, okay, let's go to the book of Jude. Even as Sodom and Gomorrah, the seed is about them in like manner, giving themselves over to fornication. Let me tell you something. America have given themselves over to fornication. Okay. Now it's coming under the title of social justice, rights, my ability to exist. There's a lot of virtue signaling going on. There's a lot of new terms being used to cover up one particular sin. That's fornication. What's going on here? Going after strange flesh. Oh, don't let me interpret that for you. Let's leave that alone. Or set forth as an example, suffering the judgment of God. You know what happens there? Eternal fire. So what happens in the days of Lot? Judgment fell upon them. Let me tell you something. If we don't turn, we're going to burn. Have a good one. Bye.